Greetings to friends around the world. It's 12:30 p.m. here in Norway, in the morning in the United States, and 4 p.m. in Iran. Welcome to Woman, Life, Freedom, the theme of this year's Nobel Peace Conference, Women's Rights are Human Rights. My name is Sree Sreenivasan, and I'm a member of the Nobel Prize Outreach Board and CEO of Digimentors. It's my honor to be your digital co-host today. We are proud to bring you more than 4 hours of live programming from the beautiful Nobel Peace Center in downtown Oslo. We're doing something different this year for our online audiences. We're going to do the special show before the main stage program, and we're going to keep coming back and forth between the two stages, and we're going to bring in as many questions, comments, and greetings from around the world as possible. So we want to hear from you. Please tag us, follow us, share your content. Tell us where you're watching from. We'd love to know where you are right now, what you're doing. Maybe you're sitting at your desk ready to start your day. Maybe you're taking a break, you're in a car, you're walking. We'd love to hear what you're doing and where you are and what you think of this theme. Women's rights are human rights. We're live on nobelpeacecenter.org and on Facebook and on YouTube. Please share. Please comment, please follow. We have a unique partnership with United World College. We have watch parties in 5 different countries and a special IRL in real live audience right here in the Nobel Peace Center. Hello, everybody. If they will let me speak, they will be, these are students from the awesome folks, the awesome team at United World College, Red Cross, Nordic. So welcome, everybody. Their goal is to drown me out with the excitement and all the sharing and questions they're going to have today. We are in the brand new Mandela Room, named, of course, for the Nobel Peace Laureate, Nelson Mandela. A quote of his adorns the wall here. The best weapon is to sit down and talk. The best weapon is to sit down and talk. And that's what we're going to do for the next 4 hours. And we want you to participate and tell everyone who's watching right now. Tell your friends, text them, WhatsApp, tell them that this is live. They can watch us right now or they can watch the recording later. So first, we're going to bring up a couple of guests, and we're going to start by bringing up 2 students from United World College right here in Norway. So we're going to ask Mubashra and Tavi to come on up. Going to grab those mics, and you're going to tell us a little bit about United World College.
Hey, everybody. Okay. Yeah. So United World College is a movement of colleges located on 4 different continents, and our mission is to make education a force to unite cultures, nations, and people for a more sustainable and peaceful future. And all of us are here from the branch that is located in Norway, which is United World College Red Cross Nordic. Yeah.
All right, so tell us about that particular branch of the school. Go ahead.
Okay, so UWC for us is like education which gives us opportunity to unite each other, to contribute to the local environment and to the global perspective, and it's like crazy opportunity to actually make difference in the world and to make peace.
One of the best things about UWC is this exactly, that it provides education irrespective of your background, of your gender, where you're from, what your economic situations. So that's what makes it such a great mission and such a great educational force.
So tell us how what we're doing today is connected to your education. You said you want to make a difference, Tavi.
Yeah, I mean, today we are talking about women's rights and peace. So also that's one part of the what UWC, that's aligns with the UWC ideas and commitments. And also if we invest in women's rights and let people, then we invest in the better future and peace too. And that's why we have different activities on campus and feminist club, and local events that happen around the world, and we're just trying to make the world a better place for everyone.
Thank you. Mubashir, tell us about going to school with people from all over the world. I asked earlier, how many people were not born in Norway and are going to the school in Norway? Raise your hands. Look at that. That's amazing. If the online audience can see it, almost every hand here went up. So what is that like to be in such an international environment, especially when you're just still in high school? It's called United World College, but it's a high school.
I would describe it as absolutely crazy. Like, that is something I would have never thought that would be happening to me in my teens even. For me, like, I come from a very small town. Like, I haven't had much exposure before coming here, and then I come here and there's like more than 80 nationalities. There's people from all over the world. There's like so many amazing people, and it's just absolutely crazy. Like, I can't believe how diverse our community is and how just different everyone is. And it's like we all come together to make a very multicultural and diverse environment at the campus. And I think that's one of the best things about UWC, how diverse it is, how multicultural it is. And yeah, it's just absolutely amazing.
That's so great. So later on, we're going to do a global poll asking people to say what women's rights means to them. So I'm going to practice on both of you. One word. What does women's rights mean to you? Tavi, you go first.
Equality.
Equality, okay. Mubashir?
It's not a goal, it's a key.
It's a key. All right. What a great job. Thank you so much, both of you. You're going to join your friends right there. Folks, we hope you're tagging us, sharing this, posting your questions. Tell us where you're watching from around the world. We're live from the Mandela Room at the Nobel Peace Center. And now I'd like to invite two more guests to join us on stage. First, we're going to ask Ingvill to join us. Ingvill is the main host of the Nobel Peace Conference. Ingvill, welcome and thank you for being here. And we have the new chair of the Norwegian Nobel Committee, Jørgen Watne Frydnes, is here. Hello. Ingvill, how are you feeling?
Great. It's such an energy in this room. Thank you.
And so we're going to make sure that this energy goes to you when you're hosting the whole thing. So what are we going to see? What are we going to experience for the next 3.5 hours or so?
We have amazing speakers. We have Nobel Peace Prize laureates. We have gender activists from across the world. And we have some of the world's foremost experts on gender equality and on human rights. And I hope we will all learn something and also be inspired maybe to do something ourselves with some of those huge problems that we're struggling within the world today.
And that's why we have these students here, because they're going to help inspire us and inspire your audience as well. Jørgen, welcome. You are the chair of the Nobel Norwegian Committee. Tell us what that means, and it sounds like an awesome responsibility.
Well, it means first and foremost that our main task is to discuss and decide who should be the laureate of this year. So we are 5 people in the committee, and we spend most of the year until early October to discuss, to figure out and decide who should become this year's laureate.
So there's a week in October where all the prizes are announced, one after the other, and the Friday in October is when the Peace Prize is announced. Take us behind it a little bit without giving away the secrets about what that's like, and how nervous do you get?
Well, first and foremost, I must say this is my first year.
Yes, that's right. This is
Chair.
your first time. Yeah.
So will I be nervous? Obviously. The most famous door in Norway is at the Nobel Institute. It opens up with millions of viewers looking at that door. And this year, with me coming out to reveal this year's Nobel Peace Prize.
And how many meetings are you in? People can be nominated from around the world by parliamentarians. Getting nominated is not the thing. It's about the process and being taken seriously. Talk about that a little bit.
So the deadline for nomination is the 31st of January. So from that day on, we start our very regular meetings throughout the year. And we discuss and we discuss. We have a network of researchers, academics all around the world that helps us with documentation on figuring out the facts we need to take that decision. And then we slowly move towards who should receive this year's prize. So now, basically, we're in the midst of it. We are in the midst of the most hectic period of the year. And so you'll see on Friday of October the 11th.
And that's when the name will be announced and this person's life will change. Ingvill, you'll be on this side at the Nobel Peace Center. What will that day be like?
We are just as excited as everybody else because some people believe that we know something in advance, but we don't. So we stand there, we watch the press conference, we watch Jørgen come out, and then we applause, we cheer, we're excited, and then we start working on the next Nobel Peace Prize exhibition about the new laureate. And that exhibition opens the day after the ceremony in the City Hall. So we have 2 months to create a full exhibition.
And I can tell you, having worked at the Metropolitan Museum and other places, normally it's 3 to 5 years for an exhibition. You do one in 2 months. So October is the announcement. The ceremony is for a week, a week of Nobel, as they say it, in Stockholm for the other prizes and the Peace Prize here. Jørgen, what does it mean to have the Peace Prize here in Norway? Why is that important?
Well, Alfred Nobel decided that the Peace Prize should be awarded in Oslo of a committee consisting of 5 people who gets that responsibility out of the Norwegian Parliament. The institution, the Nobel institution, and the committee is completely independent, but Alfred Nobel wanted it to be in Norway. And since then, the first prize in 1901, it's been I think, important part of Norwegian history as well as world history. This is Norway. This is the home of the Nobel Peace Prize. It is important part of being in Oslo.
Yeah, and we have an online audience. Ingvill, do you want to tell them a little bit about the center? And apart from the exhibition, what they can see? And even if they go online right now, there's a great Yoko Ono exhibition that they can see, digital one.
Exactly. Thank you for that question, Sree. The Nobel Peace Center is the museum for the Nobel Peace Prize. So obviously we tell the story about the Nobel Peace Prize, the laureates and their work. And our mission is to inspire to a more peaceful world, nothing less. And we do that through not just exhibitions, but also we do a lot of school programs. We have students coming from all over Norway, and we also have digital student programs online for download. So we have students all over the world learning about the Nobel Peace Prize and the laureates on our website. And we do events like these.
Great. Before we go, we know you have to get on the main stage. I want to ask you about Narges Mohammadi, the imprisoned 2023 laureate. The wording in the announcement was she's being recognized for her fight against the oppression of women in Iran and her fight to promote human rights and freedom for all. Now that a year has passed, how would you assess what has been the meaning of getting this award for her and for women's rights as human rights?
In the next couple of hours, we will meet several people who's been working day and night for the vision of Narges to happen. Herself is still imprisoned in prison in Tehran under very harsh conditions. And for the family, for the friends, for the Nobel family, but also for the world, how a Nobel Peace Prize laureate is still being treated is a grim reality. That said, look at Kiana and Ali Rahmani, her children, how they as 17-year-olds have basically come up on the occasion to fulfill and be their voice of their mother. And I think to show that both enthusiasm, the responsibility, is crucial for understanding how we can proceed of still not giving up.
And that, of course, is the theme of this conference, and we're going to all talk about not just the rollback of rights, Ingvill, you're going to push us for solutions, because we want to be not just lamenting the problem, but looking at hopefully fixing the problem.
That's right, Sree. We always try to make people leave the Nobel Peace Center with a sense of hope even though our topics are often quite grim and serious. We believe that change is possible, and we believe that we need people like you to make that change happen. So that's why we try to present some solutions and leave you all with some hope and inspiration.
Hope and inspiration. What a great topic for today, and great words from both of you. Thank you very much, Ingvill. Thank you, Jørgen. Good luck. All right, folks, how are you doing? Excited? Yeah. We're about 15 minutes before we go live to the main stage, and so everyone, please share this conversation with the world. Tag us, follow us, tell your friends that they can join us. Share the link on WhatsApp or Snapchat or TikTok, all the different places that people can follow us. We have 3 hashtags we're using. Nobel Peace Conference. We're using Woman, Life, Freedom, and hashtag Free Nargis. So please use those hashtags. Let's get the word out about the conference and about Nargis. So now we are ready for 2 more guests. Let's welcome them, please. We're going to be joined now by Rebecca Vincent and Karen Karliker. Please come on up. Greetings to both of you. Karen is Director of Campaigns at RSF International. No, that's me. Yes, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Rebecca is Director of Campaigns at RSF International, and Karen is Director of Writers at Risk at Penn, 2 very important organizations that are working every day for human rights and the rights of women and everybody. So
in fact, could we just add our colleagues from the Frontline Defenders as well, which also joins us on the steering committee?
Yes, please. Join us. We'll have to share the microphone, but you're welcome here.
I barely need it.
Yeah. Thank you very much all for being here. Tell me a little bit, please, about the work you're doing and why you're here, each of you. We'll start with you,
Sure.
Rebecca.
So my organization, Reporters Without Borders, Reporters Sans Frontières, so if you hear me say RSF, it's because of our French acronym. We work to defend the freedom, independence and pluralism of journalism around the world and those who embody those ideals, like Narges Mohammadi. For us, Narges is such an emblematic case, not just for the situation in Iran, but globally, what she represents and sort of her lifelong battle for so many aspects of human rights, including press freedom. So we were delighted to be approached by the Nobel Peace Center to come together and form a new coalition in support of Narges. But again, that's also to to highlight the emblematic quality of her case and shed light on the broader situation. So our organizations on the steering committee all have slightly different mandates, and so we all have slightly different reasons for being here. For us, the press freedom situation is so dire. We know of at least 25 journalists that are currently detained, including Narges, many others who face other forms of pressure, the risk of arrest, heavy surveillance, and other issues. So when we campaign for Narges, it's to support all Iranian journalists and the right of Iranians to freedom of information.
Thank you very much. Karen, over to you and Penn.
No problem. Well, PEN America is one of many PEN centers. The PEN network has 100 centers around the world in many different countries. And Narges has been a key case for many of the centers in the network for over a decade because she has been facing imprisonment because of her nonviolent and peaceful expression for a very long time. Last year, we gave Narges our Freedom to Write Award, which is given every year to a writer in jail. And so she became, for me, an emblematic case, and I've been working with her family since then to try and win her freedom. We were incredibly thrilled last year when she was honored with the Nobel Peace Prize. For me, it was one of the sort of highlights of my entire life to be able to be here last year when the prize was given out. But you know, even with winning the Nobel Prize, she is still in prison. There is still a lot of work to do for all of us to try to free Narges, but also to free all the other dissident voices in jail in Iran. Iran, according to PEN America's Freedom to Write Index, jails the second highest number of writers in the world, with 49 at least behind bars this past year. So there's a lot of work to do, and we wanted to come together with other like-minded organizations to help free Narges and other unjustly jailed prisoners in Iran. But what we also are what I would also say is PEN also looks at sort of the power of individual writers around the world who are free to speak out on behalf of people who are not free. And I would encourage just any individual who is interested in human rights, is interested in free expression, is interested in the right of anyone, anywhere to be able to speak on these issues freely and not be put in jail, to join the movement, to help get involved. You can tweet about it, you can write about Nargis, you can work to raise attention to her case and the cases of others around the world. So we look at NGOs as sort of a key aspect of this, but also individuals have a key role to play in advocating for people's freedom too.
Thank you. Please tell us about Frontline Defenders.
Thank you so much. My goodness, what an absolute privilege it is to be here with you all and here in this wonderful building on this wonderful day. My name is Alan. I'm the Executive Director for Frontline Defenders. We, for the last 23 years, have been working with human rights defenders at risk. In 2023, we worked with defenders in 133 countries, and we've been working on the Nargis Mohammadi campaign for many years. I'm very privileged to be part of this coalition with our colleagues from RSF and PIN, and of course the Nargis Foundation itself, to highlight this issue. Many governments use imprisonment as a tactic to halt the work of human rights defenders. It's an insidious tactic, and it's designed to silence those people and make them go away. And the fact that we're here today and we are talking about this shows that doesn't. We're here, we're talking. Their desire to silence Nargis Mohammadi is failing, and it's failing by virtue of the work that everyone here is doing today. And I'm grateful to all of you for being here and being part of this movement. It's a wonderful privilege to do the work we do, to be exposed to people like this who put their life on the line in order to fight for the rights that many of us take for granted. It is a privilege and a profound one, and we're here today to mark that and celebrate it. And I'm grateful to both the colleagues here in the coalition and my own team in Frontline Defenders who have been working very, very hard on this for many years. Remember, they want to silence her. That's the objective.
And we won't be silenced. That's why we're here. We want to bring you greetings from Sabri, who says, greetings from Egypt to all organizers and speakers of this great conference. We have a question that we'd like to bring to you from one of our watch parties, student who has sent us a question. So let's see if we can get that question to you now. Yeah. Here we go.
Hello, my name is I'm Palestinian from Lebanon, and I study at UWC Nordic.
I'll do one more.
My question is, do you think that the world today is peaceful compared to the world in the past? Or no? Thank you.
Who'd like to take that? We have to do very quick, short answers, so go ahead.
Do you want to go? I think I heard the question, is the world today more peaceful than before?
Yeah, what's the situation?
The situation is horrendous. Mm-hmm. And that is not to say that we give up, but the situation is horrendous. We are seeing the breakdown of even the traditional protections, which weren't that good. Even those are failing. So the situation is horrendous. The global allies, the folks that we thought, the systems that we thought we might be able to rely on have failed us all and are failing, of course, our colleagues in Palestine. So I don't want to be negative, but things are trending in the wrong way on every level. And it is up to us, and when I say us, I mean you, because we're too old. It's up to you to improve that, because it's your world. And in 25 years' time, you'll be running the world, more so than you are already. This is the opportunity for this generation to make the changes that the previous generations have not been able to do so.
Thank you. Rebecca?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with all of that. But that also means it's more important than ever that journalists are able to do their jobs in reporting in conflicts all around the world. So obviously we can't ignore the situation in Gaza, where more than 100 journalists have been killed doing their jobs there, and so many other places. And it's not just about those journalists, it's really about all of us, because all of us have the right to information. anytime a journalist anywhere is silenced, whether that's a journalist in Iran like Narges, whether that's Palestinian journalists trying to report on the conflict, for the rest of us, it impacts all of us. We all have that right to information. So it's my hope that your generation will fight for that in a more effective way than those who have come before. And some of us, old as we may be, are still trying to help you, but I have a lot of hope that your age, people get it, that you see the power of activism, even if it starts online. That's a very powerful tool. And we can brainstorm together amongst the generations on how that can translate into real life action. We're here to support you.
Thank you. Karen, very quick thought on this.
I definitely agree with my colleagues that the situation is bad and that the traditional ways or the international order is falling apart in certain ways. But I do think it's very important in response to that not to give up and to have sort of new ways of working together with different NGOs, building coalitions, and then also having more people, individuals getting involved in the process as well. So I am an eternal optimist. I do think it's very important to push back against collaboration by authoritarian governments and war, everything else going on in the world by pushing back and having individuals get involved in a positive way.
Thank you to all three of our great colleagues here. Thank you very much. Folks, now we're going to do an exercise where we bring us all together online using Kahoot. Anybody who's gone to school in the last decade knows about Kahoot. Go to kahoot.it, or pull out your phones if you have the app, and we'll be using Kahoot to you're going to tell us where you are in the world. So we're going to have this world map that shows us where people are watching around the world. You all know how to use Kahoot, kahoot.it. If you don't have the app, you go to kahoot.it and you see the game pin right on the screen, and you can then play and tell us where you're watching from, and we'll come to you with a question later as well. So while that's going on, I want to tell you that we have watch parties around the world, and here are people tell us where you're watching from. That's great. You guys see putting your names in as well. And you can also, there'll be a map that comes on, and on the map you can tell us where you're watching. And we are watching, we have these world watch parties at UWC colleges in Costa Rica, the Netherlands, China in Changshu, in Mostar in Bosnia, in Pearson in Canada, as well as at the University of Oklahoma, Case Western University in Cleveland, Luther College in Iowa, and Stanford University in the Bay Area. So we have people watching around the world, and I see that everyone's putting in their names here, which is fun, and we will have the map also as well, and on the map you'll be able to tell us where you're watching from. We have folks watching around the world. We have great comments coming in on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. Please follow at Nobel Peace Center and post your questions there, post your comments. We'll bring them to the main stage in just a moment. There's a chance to drop your pin. If you're here in the room, tell us where you're from rather than that you're in Oslo, because you're all from different places. And people watching online, tell us where you're watching from. And we will share this with you in a few moments. Later on in the program, we'll come to you with that. So we are talking about women's rights, our human rights, and we want to celebrate the opportunity for us to mark the anniversary of the Nobel Peace Prize being given to Narges Mohammadi, and at the same time acknowledge she's still imprisoned and we still need to free Narges. So please use that hashtag. As we get ready for a full program on the main stage, we'll be sending you over there in just a moment. So you are playing this game, you are posting your questions, and please share the URL, Nobel Peace Center, the live stream link on your social feeds. Tell your friends that you're watching and they can watch us live or watch us later. And with that, we are ready, I think, to go to the main stage and be part of the main show there. Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you, United World College, Red Cross, Nordic. Yes.